Look, we both signed for the rematch. That was one of the reasons we took the deal. Is that we knew it was 2 fights and all the terms are the same. But I said to Conor, when I said about, maybe you look at 147, and he just looked at me and he said, if you think that fight was a war, wait till you see the rematch. I was like, and I just feel...
Absolutely. Here's a rewritten version with more unique wording, a tighter structure, and elevated language, while keeping the narrative and fire intact. The store turns. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. the Surrogate, officially confirmed. The rematch is officially on. Eddie Hearn has confirmed that Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. have inked the deal. And the sequel...
I'm very confident about the rematch, and it will be brutal again, so I can only speak on my behalf, but we've signed for it, Eubank signed for it. And we
to their fiery first encounter is locked in. No speculation, no hesitation. Hearn made it clear this is happening. When the topic of a return to 147 LOBs was raised, Benn didn't flinch, he fired back with intensity, declaring that if their first battle was a war, the next would be outright devastation. That instant reaction was telling. Benn is not just preparing, he's hunting for payback. While Hearn acknowledged Eubank Jr.'s crisp clinical performance in the first bout, he didn't ignore Benn's evident ring run.
I'm the revenge, man. I want my revenge. I think inactivity played a big part. It's quite hard.
Conor Benn. The message was simple. With time, focus, and full conditioning, Conor Benn could be lethal. And that's exactly what fans are now bracing for. This isn't just a rematch, it's a full-scale collision course. Benn isn't dwelling on defeat. He's weaponizing it. The first loss didn't crush him, it ignited him. He's obsessed with redemption, focused on dismantling the man.
With these rematches, with these types of intense fights taking place, like Conor and Eubank, a rematch right away will probably end their career. It's that intense. It's that so.
Who handed him his first professional blemish. With each passing day, the pressure mounts, and so does the sense that Benn's return will be far more violent and unforgiving. Oscar De La Hoya is firmly in Benn's corner, expressing excitement for the rematch and admiration for Benn's drive. He's convinced that the sting of the loss and Benn's inner fire are exactly what he needs to rise again. This version of Conor will be a different animal, De La Hoya stated. He believes Benn will step into the ring transformed.
He'll be a better fighter. We've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time.
Calculated, sharpened, and devastating. Meanwhile, Nigel Benn's fury has not cooled. The boxing legend exploded after his son's loss, condemning the result as a mockery. He didn't hold back, branding Eubank Jr. a lucky opportunist who exploited a rusty opponent. Nigel insists the rematch will be a massacre, with a dialed-in Conor dismantling Eubank and silencing the doubters. In stark contrast, Chris Eubank Sr. offered a ruthless appraisal. He claimed Benn was out of his depth from the opening bell, and criticized the weight manipulation tactics, calling them disgraceful and hazardous.
Saw that Junior is too big a man. These weights that they are flouting they're destroying the fight.
Eubank Sr. praised his son's poise, power, and discipline, and made it clear that Benn was never ready for this level. Harlem Eubank joined the chorus, unleashing a scathing breakdown of Benn's bravado. He blasted Conor for his pre-fight arrogance and said the performance didn't match the hype. Harlem insisted this rematch won't be close, calling it a formality that will once again prove Eubank Jr. is leagues above. However, trainer Tony Sims isn't buying it. He came out swinging, declaring that Benn actually had the upper hand in many rounds of the first fight, Sims accused the judges of robbing his fighter of a deserved victory and made it clear Benn's best is still to come. He's already preparing for an even more polished, vicious version of Benn to settle the score definitively. This war is far from over, Sims warned, and next time, there won't be any questions. Sky Sports' Adam Smith echoed the sentiment that this fight isn't just about belts, it's personal. Both men are entering with something to prove. For Benn, it's vindication. For Eubank Jr., it's about legacy and closing the chapter once and for all, so here we are. Two names, one rivalry, and a fight that promises nothing less than fireworks. In 6 months, the boxing world will hold its breath as these two warriors clash again. Not just
I think there's a rematch in the contract, so there's no doubt that they'll run that one back and do it all over again.
But for pride, redemption, and supremacy. Who takes the rematch, Benn or Eubank? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and if you're ready for the next chapter in this epic saga, smash that like button and subscribe for all the latest fight updates. Would you like me to adapt this into a YouTube script, or turn it into a punchy press release?
We'll decide whether we do the rematch or drop down to the natural weight 147 and fight for the world title.